We have the good fortune of rarely having to look very far from home for outstanding commencement speakers, and today is no exception. Our speaker this year is an accomplished business person, a dedicated civic leader, and a woman deeply devoted to the health and well-being of Greater Reading and its people. Julia H. Klein is the President and Chief Executive Officer of C.H. Briggs, our neighbor, one of the nation's largest independently owned distributors of specialty building materials and among the nation's top 100 woman-owned businesses. Women-owned businesses. Singular or plural? Women-owned business? She has grown C.H. Briggs substantially and earned a reputation for insightful thought leadership in the process. Julia is as influential in the community as in her industry. She has served on numerous boards, including those of the Reading Health System and the Berks County Community Foundation, sat on the governance committee of Girl Scouts of Eastern Pennsylvania, and was a founding director of the Berks Economic Partnership. She also is a great proponent of education and is a trustee of Worcester College in Ohio, where she received her undergraduate degree. So we're delighted to have you here today, Julia Klein, our neighbor and friend, and I've asked you to join me in welcoming our primary speaker today.
Good morning. You all look fantastic, all you graduates. You know, I love graduation so much that I'm thinking to make pomp and circumstance my ringtone. I just love it. So, like the very good student I am, I prepared for my remarks this morning by reading some of the best commencement speeches of all time. I also watched a lot of YouTube videos of famous people speaking to graduating classes around the world. And I was so inspired. President Kennedy, Toni Morrison, Bill and Melinda Gates, Nora Ephron and David Foster Wallace, Oprah. My first thought is I should just do a video montage for you and call it a day. One thing I learned was that formal academic protocol, or just tradition, I don't know, requires me to begin by droning on with a list of who's here today, all of you. So given, though, that I've had the really good fortune of speaking to and getting to know about 30 of the graduates, I thought I'd mix things up a bit by using your words for my greetings list. So here's what you all said. About President McMillan, you said, "A true gentleman, he really cares about this place." Albright faculty, you said, "My professors believed in me and pushed me." Albright staff and trustees, "There's no way I could have gotten this degree without financial aid and without their help in figuring it all out." And families, oh, your students said so many things about their families. This sums it up. I'm all for them, and they're all for me. To all of you, thank you for inviting me to share such a great day with you. I'm fortunate to have gotten to know some of this graduating class. When I asked you what you wanted to hear today, the answers, all given with raised eyebrows and kind of forced smiles, range from, how about some career advice, to, well, make it inspirational, to, please, just make it quick. So, I thought I'd tell you a bit what I've learned from you, the soon-to-be graduates, then tell you a short story about my journey, and then some advice, all really quick, I promise. So let me tell you what I find inspiring. You, all of you. Here's what I've learned about the who and the what and the why of this class. Who are you? Many of you are first-generation college graduates, the product of generations of hopes and dreams and hard work. Some of you are millennials with parents in the audience. Many of you are parents with kids in the audience, and your parents long gone but cheering on from above. Many of you come from immigrant families, coming to Albright from the Dominican Republic, China, Italy, Ghana, Puerto Rico, Mexico, Austria. I've probably missed some. Your grit and belief in education are the very epitome of the American dream. And what do you have in common? You told me that Albright has broadened your horizons and that liberal arts matter. You've read things you never would have read. You've connected the dots between art and science, religion and history, business and culture in ways that you never considered before you stepped foot on this campus. You told me that your worldview is bigger and your job prospects better, albeit still a bit scary for some. And what else do you have in common? You told me that the importance of relationships at Albright has been life-changing for you. With your friends, your cohort, your professors. Now, I know graduates, you're all sitting in alphabetical order, so maybe you're not next to your best pals, but relationships really, really matter. So will you please take a minute and offer your thanks and congratulations to the person next to you? You do that? You are all on to new things, and you're all lifelong learners in a whole new way. Okay, the who, the what, and now the why. The why of this class is so inspiring. So many of you told me that you're here to be role models for your children and to make a larger impact in the workplace, a larger impact in our community and in the world. You all are a reason for optimism in a world that badly needs it. So let me tell you a personal story about my liberal arts journey. The road from a political science major, women's studies and religion minors, I'm a good liberal arts student, to CEO of a building products distribution company. 35 years connecting the dots, all in hindsight, and we all know that hindsight is the very best lens. So I've been interested in politics and public policy, and that's brought into business. And I've always been pretty much of a nerd. I don't even get a laugh for that. Seriously, I've always been a nerd. After college, I helped run the YWCA here in Reading, and this affirmed my desire to make a difference in my community. But it soured me on nonprofit management as a career path. Sometimes learning what you don't want to do is important as learning what you do want to do. I really struggled to find that job. It was a difficult time in my life. I sat by the phone, waiting for calls about my applications. Now, this was before LinkedIn, before the internet, even before answering machines. Yes, there really was such a time. I didn't understand how to network or ask for help, and it took me a long time and many tears to find that first job. I became much more resilient after that, and I learned the hard way that action is the best solution when you feel stuck. After a stint at the YWCA, I applied to graduate school. I wanted to go to one of the best policy programs in the country, so I applied to the University of Chicago, and I didn't get in. I was crushed. I took the lesson I learned after being too passive in my previous job search, and I decided to take my fate into my own hands. I flew to Chicago, interviewed with the dean, and asked him to reconsider, which he did, on the condition that I take graduate level calculus before enrolling. So I signed up for an Albright St. Joe's MBA calculus course, and I spent a long spring on this campus, passed the class, and went to Chicago in the fall of 1984. Now, there are a lot of great takeaways in this story, not the least of which was that ultimately, calculus was completely irrelevant to my degree, and let alone my career since then. But I do have University of Chicago quantitative geek bragging rights, and that has come in handy over the years. So after graduate school, I went into the political campaign world, and I worked for some of the finest candidates you could ever wish for. Many of them lost. But it was a great experience in building organizations and strategy, and it connected me with a mentor who was an entrepreneur who encouraged me down the company building path, and I'll be forever grateful for that. My work at C.H. Briggs, on other company boards, in healthcare and higher education and philanthropy have all been part of a whole. I've followed my interests as they've developed, and I've put my time and attention toward the things that matter most, both to me and to what I see as important to the world. You are in a perfect position to do the same, whether you're just beginning your career positioning yourself for a promotion, or stepping into something completely new, graduation is a time to turn the page and leap. People who get career training only are great at drawing the dot. Your degree from Albright enables you to connect the dots and to see whole new designs. So at the risk of some snickering in the audience, let me share a personal example about connecting dots and seeing new designs and having broad interests. And I really do mean this is at the risk of some snickering in the audience. Here's what's been on my reading list for the past few months. Are you ready? The Wright Brothers, All the Light We Cannot See, a wonderful novel, John Barth's The Tidewater Tales. I read that every few years, have for the last 20. Neurotribes, Recovering from Right Brain Injury, and The 36-Hour Day, a guide for caregivers. The C.H. Briggs November Financial Reports, Becoming a Digital Distributor, and the Harvard Business Review's War for Talent. Okay, wait, it gets weirder. Shonda Rhimes' The Year of Yes, Gloria Steinem's My Life on the Road, The Beauty and the Sorrow, my book club's study of World War I, The Wisdom of Menopause. Now, I share this to make the point that curiosity and a great liberal arts education leads to breadth. And breadth fuels imagination and connection, and that's what creates success. Now, lest you make erroneous assumptions about my depth, however, let me assure you that this reading list is also supplemented by copious amounts of Homeland, Facebook, and the more than occasional Law and Order rerun. I'm 100% convinced that my wide interests help make me a better leader. I've learned a great deal from building our company, but some of my most important lessons have not been at work and not been from being a CEO, but as a mother and a wife and daughter, board member, mentor, and friend. I really like wearing lots of hats, and I want to encourage you to wear all of yours too. Excel at work. Volunteer with organizations whose missions you think are important. Build a family life that creates security and warmth for the people that you love. Create art. Be a good citizen of the world. Wear all your hats. Try on some new ones. Now, I really just can't leave you with hats as an inspirational metaphor, though, can I? Although your graduation caps look fantastic, I have to say. So here's my advice. For you English majors, from Shakespeare to thine own self be true. For you business majors, from Steve Jobs, think different. From Sheryl Sandberg, lean in. From my grandmothers, be picky, marry well. I did. From me, read a lot, move a lot, sleep a lot. And from the biblical Isaiah, be not afraid. So how's that for quick advice? Today is a time to really celebrate and to step into what's new. You might be feeling relief and maybe some trepidation. There's a reason that be not afraid is a mantra of mine. All important things look scary at first. Courage. The world needs courage, and you've got it. You've shown it repeatedly. The courage to work hard, for some of you to learn English, to stick with it, even when Albright was not easy. The courage to start a degree program, to go back and finish one, and to do something new, often in the face of difficulty, disappointments, and obstacles. You've had the courage to travel, to try for a promotion, and to make friends with people very different from you, to welcome diversity. The world needs you and needs your courage, especially now. You are a reason for optimism in a world that badly needs it. Congratulations, graduates, and Godspeed.